What's up, everybody? Great to see you today. I am joined with Tin Man Lee, and we're going to dive into his story in just a quick second. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do six figures in one day with your coaching, consulting, or done for you service offer. So if you love money and you love to have fun, you're in the right place. Tin Man, will you let everybody know a little about who you are, how you serve people?
Hello, everybody. My name is Tin Man Lee. I'm a wildlife photographer. So I teach my students how, aspiring photographers, how to turn their photos into a masterpiece so that they can not only win awards, get print sales, but really have an authority where they can make a change in people's life and conservation, all these kind of
Mhm.
things.
Oh, so good. Okay, so Tin Man, brag on yourself for a little bit because tell us a little bit about what you and your students have done and accomplished, just so everyone is aware of how fire sauce your stuff is.
Oh, yeah. So one of the proudest moments was one of my students. She tried to get into, one of the most famous magazines for all the photographers' dream was National Geographic. So she
Wow.
was trying to get into Nat Geo Germany for many years,
Mm.
but didn't have any success until I worked with her. And she told me that the first trip she took after my mentorship, she got a 7-page spread in National Geographic Germany. And not only that, she later won a grant from National Geographic. So now she's full-time. She's a National Geographic explorer doing conservation
What?
ambassadors for multiple brands. And yeah, it's
So
just,
cool.
yes.
So cool. So you will take people on expeditions, right, Tin Man, to
Yeah.
trips with you, and then you'll teach and train them and really quickly how to take these like stunning photographs, right?
Yes.
And many of your students go on to win like not just magazine features, but awards, right, Tin
Yeah.
Man?
Yeah. National awards, international awards. Yeah, like I think there are more than 300 awards that I helped them won over the last few years. Because once you understand how to, it's very similar to what you are doing, Eileen. It's all
Mm.
about emotion. So
Mhm.
if you can evoke that emotion in the photos, tell a strong stories, the
Wow.
photo naturally will win. So I teach students that.
So cool. So cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. So amazing. So we're gonna take some questions for Tin Man because he's about to dive into like something crazy sauce that he just did. Okay, so Tin Man, you have this insanely like you get insane results for your clients. And when we first found each other as a business owner, what would you say were your sticking points or where were you experiencing frustration as an entrepreneur? What were you looking to kind of accomplish?
Before that, I was mostly focusing on low ticket,
Low ticket.
like
Yeah.
997 courses and those, and it was doing okay. But Facebook ads and those
Mm.
the cost is getting higher and higher. And also, I realized that by charging low ticket, I actually didn't provide students the highest value of service. They are
Wow.
really learning the most. Of course, there are still students winning, but I realized that by charging higher, it would much better. However, at the time,
Mm.
we have a very good way to implement it. So I know I heard about the challenges and those but the thing is there's nobody like you who actually teach people step by step how to implement it perfectly
Mm.
without being salesy, which is something that I
Mm.
community is very important because we are working on art and those and people don't want to be pushed. And for you, we'll dive deeper into those later, but it's
Mm.
just so natural and buy or don't buy and
Mm.
it's just fantastic. So anyways, yes.
So
So
lovely, so lovely. So and I totally get it. I was an art student myself, so you're dealing with you're privileged to work with a lot of very creative people, which I would imagine would also be very kind of sensitive people. So you and how many of you guys watching just don't appreciate it when you feel pushed, by someone, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause you can even feel it, right, off someone. You're like even before they open their mouth, you're like your alarm bells or, you're like, "Whoa." So, I love that you love that too, that kind of elegant, easy, no pressure, no say this is just a easy invitation into something deeper. So you and we found each other were doing low ticket courses, and you didn't have a high ticket offer yet, Tin Man?
I have a few, but it was not consistent, and I
Okay.
really want to because you never know what's the problem without someone to kind of giving feedback. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So it was like 5,000 or a little bit
Okay.
more, something like that. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, lovely, lovely. So
Yeah.
awesome. And Timin has a few minutes with us today. So if you have questions, it's about to get a little juicy here. So let's talk, Timin, about did we find each other? Where did we first meet each other? And then kind of how long ago was that?
So I've heard about you for a long time. So everybody were telling me how great you are, and then I started to also hear that you have a way to teach people to break down
Mhm.
the whole master class and challenges. So I know the ideas, but
Mhm.
it's so
Mhm.
difficult to actually execute it perfectly.
Yes,
Yeah,
totally.
and the choreograph that you talk about.
Mhm.
So I enrolled in one of your 5 days
It was
challenge.
a challenge.
Yes,
Okay.
the
Yep.
challenge,
Okay,
yes.
cool, cool.
And then, and the first time I was ready to join, but I have some family issues, and I thought I
Mm.
couldn't make it, but turned out everything was good. So I was
Wow.
so happy that you had another challenge, and also with the same time to for the event. So I just
You
jump
just
on in.
jumped
Yes.
on in.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
in. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so when was that though, Timmy? Can you think? So we're watching this in April. We're filming this right now in April. Do you
Yeah.
remember when that challenge was and then when the workshop
And
was?
the challenge was like in mid-February,
February.
and then
Okay.
your workshop was like 2 weeks afterwards.
2
Yeah.
weeks afterward, was it in February or March? I don't
Uh,
remember.
in
It
March.
was
Yeah.
in March. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Mhm.
Time is so funny for me, Tim. I don't know if you're ever like this. I'm like, what year?
Yes.
And the months are like whole 'nother issue. Okay, so we got connected in the challenge, and then
Mhm.
you dove on in,
Yes.
and then I remember meeting you virtually at the challenge, and then you came to Houston, which was so cool.
Yes.
Um, what can you think back then, Tin Man, like maybe at the workshop or even on the challenge, like what was what was resonating with you, or what was the aha for you that started like making you feel unstuck or started giving you those breakthroughs?
There's so many ahas. I can talk for 5 hours. So, like the way is what I really appreciate about you is you put in so much work to study all the basically the secrets of how to break it down so that we can
Mhm.
absorb so easily. So during the workshops, you explain each component and the why of each component and how we can execute it. For example, a few
Mhm.
ahas is having an MC
Having an
is
MC, yes.
yes, and that really helped me in my last 4-hour master class, and
Mm.
also inviting some of my students onto it, and that changed the game. Really changed the
Oh,
game because
so
I,
cool.
yeah, like when you share a screenshot of a testimonial, it's good, but when a student came on in with all their facial expression, telling people how much they love your project, how much they love your
Mm.
offer, it's game over. It's
Game
game
over.
over. Yes. And in my mentorship, in my challenge, I have a 4-hour masterclass.
Okay.
I had 3 students who came up. Each gave 15 minutes, like
Oh,
before and
so
after,
beautiful.
and very genuine, and
Yeah.
everybody loved them, and
Oh,
that really changes the game. And also, another aha is that how to choreograph the whole energy.
yes. Yes.
And
Great. Great, great.
yes, yes. Before I was teaching too much, and now nobody ever complained that I didn't teach too much. The thing is, I know how to tell much powerful stories. And when you told me, I asked you too, like, how do I make sure that people don't complain when
Yes.
they want to teach this and teach that? But the thing is, if you keep them engaged,
Yep.
then they feel like they're learning, and when they feel like they're learning a lot, that's where the transformation is
Mhm.
much better than before. Because no matter how much I teach, if their mindset has not been changed, they think that they don't need help, then they'll never seek help, and they'll do the same thing for 5, 10 years. So you told me that
Mhm.
number one, not selling is actually selfish. Not talk to people, being shy is selfish, right?
Mm.
And that is wonderful. And number two is we have an obligation to help them.
Wow.
So Yeah. So once those mindset of myself change, I can also help change their mindset, which is
Yes.
fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So I'm getting chills. Isn't this drop some fire emojis in the comments below or in the chat if you're watching live here with Tim, and how good is that? Like, being shy is selfish, and not shifting the mindsets in the room is one of the biggest things, Tim, and that I think people fail to do when they are having events or challenges, is they're not recognizing what are the specific mindset challenges my audience is having. And then let me take enough time in that challenge or masterclass
Mhm.
to overcome those false beliefs that they're having. One of the things that you said was you were over teaching.
Yes.
Can you, and then when people get into my work, Tim, and they say, "Well, Eileen, if you don't want me to overteach, what do I teach?" And so there's this big, like, big, how to do it. Can you speak to, like, what did you think you were over teaching, and then what did you feel like you adjusted?
So I was over teaching the stuff that in say photography, you can buy a
Okay.
$5 Amazon book and you can learn all about light and stuff. And I was
Yes.
thinking that all I need is just to teach a little bit better on that. But
Okay.
the problem of most people is that they have a lot of belief that were wrong. They believe that the
Mm.
only way to get better photos is to work harder. And
Ooh.
to go onto another trip, to just buy the next
It'll
new
take me
lens.
years or something
Yes,
like this. Okay, okay. More
years
equipment,
and
better
years.
equipment. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So I borrow your ideas about how to work higher instead
Hi.
of harder.
Love it.
And I could see that in the cameras, in the Zoom call, everybody was putting their pen down, jotting their notes, and the funniest thing was you told me about janky videos and stuff,
Janky
right?
videos.
And I,
Yes.
I didn't really rehearse because I didn't really, everything was in
You're
a rush.
amazing.
So oh, thank you very much. So I had my screen in the back, and you guys know about how sometimes the camera, if you buy those fancy cameras like this one that has nice
Yes.
skin and stuff, they blur the background. So
Oh,
so
okay.
every time when I try to write on the board, it couldn't focus on that, and it focused on my face, and I have to back down. It's
Oh,
very
how funny.
it is very embarrassing. But the good thing is actually that
Mm.
create a lot of energy flow, and people say, "Timmy, can you repeat that? I can't see clearly." And turned out it was excellent. And I got a lot of comments later
Oh.
about like, "Oh, I got the first 3 levels, but the last level
Oh,
I
do it
wasn't
again, say it
sure."
again. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
all this because everything you taught, you can really apply to everything.
Mm.
How people are focusing on working hard, and they are not focusing on how to communicate, for example. And if
Yeah.
a photo can communicate, that would be
Ooh,
good. And
yeah.
then I don't know if your clients watch, the people watching already knows the bits.
Oh,
I,
yeah, a lot of the people who study our work are familiar with the bits, yes.
Yes, it just changed the whole game. Now,
Mm.
at first, I thought I was very hesitant. I tell you the truth
Okay. Yeah.
when I told the bit, and because because I'm a wildlife photographer, I'm a bird photographer. I see a lot of bird behavior and animal behavior that nobody knows. So all of this is just like a whole treasure of
Oh
of
my
bits for me.
gosh.
So, and then I even have videos to back it up. So instead of you telling a story of the animal,
Are you
like,
for
and I
real?
have the whole video. So one of the example is maybe I can share with some of
Yes.
your
Oh my
students
gosh.
later. Is like how the birds will take a leap and drop onto the cliff before they take up the food that the mom is trying to give them in midair. And I play the video showing them that they have to take action, and then also delay is so critical, because if they delay, the other siblings will get the food, they wouldn't, and they will be starved. Sometimes they may even die, right, for all these birds. And
Wait,
when I
wait,
show
just so I get it, Tim, man, are
yeah,
you saying that little baby birds have to
yeah.
jump off a cliff and
Mhm.
then the mom feeds them midair? Is that what
Oh,
you're
I
saying?
gotta tell you that. So this is you may not know some of this
I
bird species.
definitely do
Okay,
not know.
so
Haven't you
there's
guys wanna learn?
so there are a few bird species. For example, kite. I don't know if you heard about white-tailed kite. So
Wait.
kite is like you play the kite, but that is named after a bird actually, because
Oh,
when they hunt, they can hang in the midair and just
wow,
look around. So it's like a kite. So the kite
wow.
was created based on that model. And for them, when they want to feed their babies, they want to train them to fly. So instead of bringing the food in after a few days,
Okay.
they would the parents would bring the food, like maybe a rodent, like a golfer or something, and then they dangle in their talons, but then it's in midair, right above them.
Whoa.
And then, for example, I was following this family. They have 4 chicks, 4 babies, and then they were all on the top of the trees. And then they look up, and then the parent were bringing it, dangling maybe 50 feet above them.
50 feet above them. Okay.
Yeah, and can you imagine, like, if you are standing on top of the tree is shaking already. If you jump up and fly, you could fall off 100 feet off the tree.
Whoa.
But then if you don't fly up to get the food, you may be starved because only one rodent can feed one bird, right? So I saw that one of them just leaped and then of course dropped and then flap around. And I don't know if any of you know scuba diving. If you know scuba diving, you have to use your breathing to control the altitude, right?
Ooh.
And if you're new, you suddenly rise up and then you suddenly drop down. It is exactly the same as these birds. They couldn't control how the altitude of their flight. So like they were flying left and right, trying to balance it so that they can grab the food from the parents. And then I showed the video of that bird just flying by, grab the food, and then the baby bird just screamed, yes, like this. And then
the baby bird, you can hear the baby bird.
You can see the bird just rah, like this, and then they fly away. They're so happy. And I show that bits to people, and they said,
Greatest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, they said they look back in their lives, and so many times it's exactly like that. They sacrifice for so much without taking action. And that really spoke to them. And I was like, oh, wow. So is it a little bit one level up the bit?
I'm almost crying. That was so great. Let's put our hands together for Tin Man Lee. Yes, because so you found this animal metaphor, which is perfect for a bit. And then basically you're landing a point or landing the takeaway to the audience in order to shift their false belief or whatever they're wrestling with. That action is what they've been missing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And the more I study, I have to rewatch so many times of your masterclass, and now I realize that how do you put all these stories to handle the objection right in the beginning, and then you do it again and again. And I didn't realize it the first time because I just thought that I'm just so naturally, so I'm buying. But then now when I study it, it's like, okay, now I can apply to it. So it's
I love it.
Really amazing.
Oh my gosh, this is so good, Tin Man. This is so good. Okay, so so stick with me for those of you watching the video. I'm going to teach how Tin Man did that. I'm going to teach how to identify that false belief and then how to develop a bit around it. But that is so good. And how much material do you have? I mean, I can't even imagine the breadth of body of work you're going to have working off animal metaphors. I cannot wait.
I can't wait to share more with you. I have all these crazy stories.
Oh my God. Okay, so Tin Man, so you're in the master class, you're doing the bits.
Yes.
And we're back in the workshop, and you had gotten an idea for an offer at that workshop, Tin Man. Was that coming together in your brain, or were you still working on that after Houston? Or talk about maybe how did you come up with your offer that you were going to present at the masterclass?
Oh, during the masterclass, I already that's a great idea. And then after the events in Houston, when I was on stage, and then you gave me the critique, that was super helpful. And so basically you gave me such a good model to model afterwards. So I have a lot of answers, questions were already answered. So it was say done.
I got the offer.
Yes.
And then you knew, and how much? What did you feel you had conviction to sell the offer for, Tin Man? After once we kind of got it all dialed in, did you know what the price was going to be, or were you going to like think about it or figure it out right before your masterclass?
Always, every second I'm spending the time to think about it, and even now I'm still thinking. But at that time, I decided to go for 15,000 because of you. It seems like everybody who study after you, 10 grand is like too low.
Too low. We heard what you did. We were like, it's too low.
At least you get another 5 grand above that. So so I make that decision and just went for it.
You just went for it. Now, did you have any hesitancy about it? Like, or were you nervous? Like, maybe some people watching are like, oh, I can never imagine offering anything for $15,000. Did you talk about that? Was there any struggle in your mind about it?
Oh yes, I am, and I think one of the big help was I where did I watch yours? I think it's in one of your tutorials that uh, is it's not about us. It's about the worth of the offer. How do you quote? I
Yes.
forgot the name of it.
Yeah. So it's not like how much
It's
am
not
I
it's
worth? It's how much is the worth of this result.
the
Yeah.
worth, not my worth. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, and when I realize how the life of my students have changed over the years, because they would
Mm,
have never found it out on their own,
wow.
because it took me 10 years and like more than $200,000, $300,000, learn from
Mm,
all the masters,
yes.
summarize it in this, and filter out all the things that could ruin them in like in the wrong path. So
Mm,
this whole thing worth
yeah.
so much, and once I realized that, then there is no going back. There's no fear.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. So you kind of objectified this result because if Tin Man's gotten 300 people awards and national exposure in huge magazines, like, that would be game changing, not just even with somebody's personal ambition, like, our personal goal was to have something of that, level of success, but also what that could do for them as a person and as a brand and,
yeah.
open opportunities for them. So, okay, so you kind of, like, convinced your own mind, you're like, "Okay, oh, snap, this is definitely worth 15K."
Yeah, and in Houston, you also gave me this quote that I still remember. When I mentioned that these students are winning so many awards, and
Mm,
then you suggest me to think in the mindset and also talk about it when so many people are winning with this framework. This program is no longer an accident,
Ooh,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, so I see, so you started seeing the predictability and reliability of the system, because the system, once executed, would
Yes.
produce this result. Yeah, that's so good. You're
Yes.
like, "This is a machine that
Mhm.
produces this result, so
Yeah.
it's not about me, it's about this system that can
Yes.
get the result."
Proven system. Yes.
Proven system, 100%.
Yeah.
So if you guys are taking notes, I just wanna make sure that you're understanding that when you're presenting your offer, you're never presenting yourself. While Tin Man could present himself, we all can recognize that Tin Man's pretty fire and there's price lists, right? But you can have conviction if you're selling the system. You're not selling yourself, you're selling your system as a thing that will get them the result, okay?
Yes.
Loving this. So good. All right, so Tin Man, talk to us like what post Houston, you're getting ready for the master class, like what kind of happened as a result of your master
Yeah.
class?
Oh, so I just basically sit back, relax, follow everything you told me to do. Sometimes, we don't need to execute perfectly, because when the concept is
Yes.
right, that is so good. So I was just talking to one of the one of the very prestigious photo contest, the founder of that contest, and he
Wow.
used to have exhibit in the Smithsonian Museum. Can you believe that? So
Whoa.
and like 15 years ago, like this feels like somebody that I can never, look up,
It
but
was like
because
you looked up to him so
yeah,
much.
like I
Yeah.
look up on him
Aw.
so much, but now, like, because I've won a lot of awards in that contest and also helped some students winning, we become good friends. And the other
Mm.
day we were just chatting on Facebook, and then suddenly Eileen's ideas came and about JV, and and I just talked to him and said, "Hey, I have this masters coming up. Do you uh, want to be a JV?" And also, and said, "Do you want to have be like a special guest appearance?" I didn't even follow your script, but the idea is,
Just
that
love it.
within 1 second, he said, "I'm in." And so he broadcast it to all his contacts of my masterclass, and he also came on in to give a 20-minute speech in the
Wow.
masterclass.
How
And
fun was that? Oh my god.
yeah, and can you imagine, because he had been in the business for, I don't know, 30 years. This is the 30 years anniversary for his photo contest, and now suddenly I can reach all these people. That's why you say, even if people have no followers, once you have that, it's so much better. Yeah.
And how fun for you, because this man, it's I could imagine what that would feel like, somebody that you look up to or
Yeah.
once, like, really learned to And then how cool for your students because that would also seed the idea and aspiration to be a part of the contest,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, okay.
yes, yes,
So
yeah,
many great
yeah. Because when they are hoping to win an award in that photo contest, and now I
Mhm.
got the founder to come
Oh,
and talk to them and
wow.
share with them what are the tips, what are the techniques and stuff to have more chances to win. And yeah, and that really helped me to get a lot of people to join.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Okay, so this is so good. All right, so you're getting guest speakers and then with everybody tracking, so even if Tin Man didn't have an audience or wanted to get the word out about his masterclass, he just had a guest speaker come and the guest speaker promoted it to their audience, which is one of the best ways you can fill your master classes and challenges is with other people's audiences. Loving this. So,
Yeah.
Tin Man, you get to the invitation part where how did that feel for you? What was that like when you are now kind of inviting people to the next step?
Oh,
Were you
so
nervous? Or were you like super confident?
uh, yeah, I shake a little bit, even though I already
Oh, I
practiced
love
in Houston. But it really it doesn't matter because the whole structure of the masterclass was
Mm,
so strong. You
mm,
know, you after basically after the four pillars, you know, after the
yes.
system and those, everything else. No matter how much you screw it up, it doesn't matter. I screw up a few times because one of the microphone of one of my speakers couldn't work, and you know,
Oh.
the internet not didn't work. Not only the microphone. So is that every second it's like just. I said, oh, that's wonderful. Disruption always follows
Dis
intention, right?
disruption always
I wa
follows
I was
intention.
so
Come
calm.
on.
I was so calm. Is that yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
let's
I
go.
just talk to him and I say, hey, like, do you want to log off and maybe use your phone to call back in, and then I'll talk to you
Oh,
in 15
cool.
minutes, and then I immediately
Okay.
pull another person to go. It's so smooth.
You were so
It's like,
smooth. You
yeah,
were
because
like,
there's really
"Do this
no
all
pressure.
day."
So yeah, so I use the no pitch in
Yep,
my master class,
yep.
and literally I was creating the Calendly link maybe like 15 minutes before the master
That's
class.
how you do it, bro.
Yeah, yeah, put in a few random questions and then just did it. And yeah, and so
So
really following the scripts, you say, hey, are you guys enjoying the master class so far?
Mhm.
How much are you excited for the next section? Yeah, give me a yes, give me a okay. I have to confess that after the half of the master class, I completely forgot about asking for a house, but
Oh, that's fine, that's fine, you
I'll
know?
do it better, but I blame my MC. Okay, so because yeah, there's so many messages and stuff to handle, but so it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. But it will be much better for sure. But so I did my invitation, and then I gave them the link, and I didn't
Mhm.
even have the details of the the workshop and stuff. But I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
gave
yeah.
them the link, and then after the link, I think I more than one of you. I brought in one of my best students
Oh, nice,
to talk right afterwards, and then
beautiful.
yeah, she was talking about how her photography was changed, and now she's doing a lot of
Mm,
conservation work. Really inspiring. God, I was
beautiful,
inspired by
beautiful,
her too.
beautiful.
Yeah, and then we continued the talk and stuff,
Mhm.
and I have to confess, I didn't dare to check my emails
You didn't
about
wanna check, you're
Calendly.
like, "I'm just gonna put the link down and I'm just
Yeah, I
gonna"
went to sleep.
Boom.
I went to sleep
Okay, okay,
afterwards.
okay.
Yes. And so you want to know the result of the, you know, how many people book a call?
Yes, guys, do you wanna
So,
know how many people? Oh my god yeah, so how many people were in the master class, Tin Man?
about like I think I didn't really check the whole time, but
Okay,
at when I do the no pitch is
yep,
there's about like 120 people
120.
in
Yeah,
the VIP room. So
beautiful.
yeah,
Solid.
so that
That's
and I
great.
actually make a lot of mistakes too. God, I really have to find a time to have a therapy section with you. So I and the first few days I send the emails of my VIPs to the general. So I think some
Oh,
people
yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
the general, it,
Yep,
like it's not supposed to trigger
all
that
good.
email sequence, but then it triggered it, and then everybody will say, "I didn't buy the VIP, but I don't mind you join."
You're like, "Welcome in."
Yeah, so I think over that 100 people, maybe some of them were not even VIPs,
Mhm.
but it's okay.
Okay.
Because I'm really like a one guy
One man
thing,
band.
yeah, one
Yeah,
man band. Nobody
yeah.
was really helping, so I figured that I can only do 5 to 6
Mm,
calls a day. And some of the days I was I was taking some other classes like how to do
mhm.
YouTube and all this random stuff. So I mean, all the good stuff actually, but not random. So I didn't have a lot of time slots. Right. So
Yeah,
and then I
okay.
realized that if I do back to back to back, I'm gonna die.
You're gonna die.
So
I'm gonna burn out if I do this.
I
You
just
broke
make
it up?
sure to, yeah, exactly, 30 minutes, and then I'll
Mhm,
have a 30 minutes break and 30 minutes. So I can only do like 4 or 5 time slots.
mhm.
And so I only created 25 time slots available
25
for
times
that
less.
next week.
Okay.
All of them were filled. So
Good scarcity. Yeah. So
yeah.
so for those, all of them were filled. So let's put our hands together. All of them were filled. Let's go, Tin Man.
Yeah.
So is that how many calls you booked after the master class was 25, Tin Man?
Yes, and I
Okay.
actually created a few in the next few days. I'm still in the middle, so I'm
Ooh, I
gonna
wonder
go
if they
into a
could open
sales
up
call
more.
right after this and a
Fire.
few more. Yes. Yes.
Wow. So were you surprised when you saw all 25 booked, or were you like, what was it like when I guess you were done with the master class and you're like, okay, I'm gonna open up my email, I'm gonna actually check.
It's a mixed feeling. Is that, oh my God, I can't believe that I have to do the sales calls again. But it's good.
Yay!
It's the
Yes,
only way.
okay.
It's the only way to
Yeah,
get some sales in. So
okay.
I literally I messaged you. I think
Mhm,
I said I literally was opening up your tutorials on how to
mhm.
close and the PDF literally 5 minutes before my first sales call. Just open it on one screen
Yep, open it up, learn
and
it
do
up,
it.
run
Yeah.
it down, one step at a
Everything,
time, everybody,
yeah,
one.
last minute. Everybody loves last
Yeah.
minute. Yeah.
So, Timon, let's talk about the results of what you experienced, and then for everybody watching live and on the replay, I'm gonna dive into what, I would advise Tin Man to do next after this,
Mhm.
because how many of you guys love sales calls, but would also love to sell from stage and not be on the phone? So we'll dive into that in just a minute. So, Timon, talk about what were the results of all of these calls that are still ongoing? Oh my gosh.
So the first few calls, I like the first call when I remember the time when I do the price review, I
Mhm.
fainted a little bit. Like I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't see anything.
Blacked
You know
out a
those
little bit.
moments, right? I black out a little bit, and then I came back in, and so I guess the person hearing it also, the energy was not very good. So
Mhm.
the first few calls actually didn't go well because I
Mm.
haven't done sales call for so long,
Yeah.
and then I said, like basically it was like every time I finish one, I look
Yep.
into the PDF and your videos. Oh, I missed that. I missed that. So
Mhm. Okay, okay.
around the third or fourth call, I just decided, you know what, I divorced from the outcome
Divorce from the
and
outcome.
divorced from the outcome completely. And
Yeah,
all I'm thinking about is just to genuinely help them.
beautiful.
And then things
Well
just
done.
changed completely.
Mm.
And now,
Mm.
let me say, so what happens? My offer is $15,000,
Mhm.
and after this first few days, I'm still having sales calls, but now I have just passed the $200,000 mark.
Go ahead, Tin Man Lee. Go ahead
Yeah.
with your bad self.
And I think that's the good thing about the high ticket is after a few, it's so tough to do sales calls and stuff.
Mhm.
And then after a few, and then you check, you say, hold on a second. And then I
Mm.
remember the day I told you that I thought I just closed 7 without
Yeah.
even knowing, and that is already over 100,000. And then after, and then once you have, I think the most important thing, I was also talking to some of your other students in my
Mm.
in our class, that
Yeah.
the most important thing is to close the first one, because once you close
Ooh.
that one, it's almost like the 4 minute mark, right? Before people
Yeah.
banister cross that mark, people think that they'll have a heart attack and die if they run too fast, right? But
Yeah.
once you pass that, you realize, oh, it's actually possible, and
Mm.
then the whole energy is completely different. Then buy or no buy, I seriously mean it. Before that, I was like, I'm not too sure. I still have like 10% like Western Reserve on that. But now
Love it.
it's like, okay, I know that people are gonna buy. And plus,
Mhm.
I think when you can hear from the buyers how thankful they are, how grateful they are,
Wow.
how excited they are. Like some of my clients, they will call their husbands. So like half
Mm.
and half, guys and girls, and some of the some of the people, they'll call their husband in and say, I'm doing it. And then
I'm
the husband
doing it.
like, yes, let's do it. And then, I have never really experienced that happiness and joy
Wow.
when they fully trust you, and then they were smiling.
Mm.
And that's when I realized, like high ticket is the way to truly help people. When you buy
Wow.
something like $4, right? You're not gonna open it. But here they know that they're
Wow.
gonna, yeah, let you change their life. So yeah.
You know what's so beautiful about this, Timon, is that people love to buy.
Yes.
They love to
Mhm.
buy. People love to buy, and when you make them feel like buying
Yeah.
in the masterclass, and when you make it feel amazing and the offer feel like what they've been looking for and feel like the dream they've always wanted to have happened in their lives and actually is,
Mhm.
it's so wonderful just seeing it all come together, don't you think?
Yes, it's I have so much to talk to you more about it, but I saw that, for example, one question I got, because when I posted in our class about the
Mhm.
results, some of you asked me, like, how do you convince them to do one payment upfront versus the payment plan and stuff like that, right? And I want to address that here too.
Beautiful.
You know, is that I didn't. I didn't ask them. I actually have the payment plan and the full price the same, because I didn't. Everything was just in such a rush. And the
Mm.
crazy thing was, some of the people who went into the phone call in the beginning, they were talking about that they may not have the fund, they may not have the money
Mm.
and stuff. So when after I do the price review, after they see that transformation, that is certainly possible, that they have struggled,
Ooh.
you drive the pain and the pressure, and they see and everything is genuine too. It's not like
Right.
driving, it's really helping them to see that clarity, right? And they see
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And um and
Love
and
that.
then when you show that, I see that they were shaking, and they look at me, and like, can you imagine, like,
Mm.
they're looking at me and say, I'm going to do one payment. And then, just send me the link. And I wasn't even say, a lot of the people will teach you, you must get the deposit right there,
Mm.
in the call to secure and stuff like
Okay.
that. And I
Mhm.
didn't, because, I think a lot of different niche is different
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
artistic stuff, and those,
Mm.
you just don't want to push them at all and something like that.
Yeah.
And they would actually ask me, like, can you send me the link now? Can you send me the link now? And yeah, one of one of the guys actually booked another call with me, and I said, don't use my time slot. He said, I sent you 5 emails and you haven't gotten back to me. I already there's so a
It's
lot of
been
stuff, and
zero
now
for
I can
you.
join
Mm.
in.
Yeah.
And so that is, I think, like, the key is not to
Mm.
use any tactics to get them to buy, but
Yeah.
really make them come, like, believe that transformation is like is done deal. Like, there's so many
Right.
people who do like the one pay with me, that I'm actually surprised. I mean, like, I
So
wouldn't do that. I mean, if I can have the option, right? But because but
like, I wouldn't do this, but it's
yeah, no, no, yeah, I almost said that, but yeah, but the thing is, when they see that, it's almost like the example of the bird when they leap out and do the
Right.
things.
Right.
They
Yeah.
actually want to do that because they
Yeah.
believe that, yeah, that's the transformation. They may as well go full on in, so that they don't even need to think about it, and in that way, you provide better transformation for them.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is so good. If this is so good, type "so good" in the live
thank
chat,
you,
and
thank
so
you.
good if you're watching this on the replay or the comments below. So one of the things, Tim Ann, that you did is release buyer's momentum. Buyer's momentum is a deeper well of energy inside someone's soul that no tactic, no price drop, no fast acting bonus, no false scarcity, no urgency, no time clock could ever touch. Buyer's momentum is when somebody speaks in such a way that increases so much desire inside of you, so much like unleashed potential, where now you're recognizing this person is the train ticket to my dreams, that it's kind of like no hell, no devil, no anything will stop you. You are going to figure it out. Buyer's momentum is the most powerful force we can unleash in the audience. And this is what will happen for everybody watching when you speak in such a way that creates the desire and then just let them go and lean out. You lean out and let them go because they are going to. How many of you guys have experienced this before? They are going to stay awake at night. They are going to email, message. They are going to figure it out.
Mhm.
They're going to figure it out and make it happen.
Yeah, one of my clients, Sam, the one who booked another call. I went into the call and said, "What happened?" And I was
What
just talking to him.
happened?
I said, "I just want to make sure that I'm in." And I said, "Yes, you are in." And I said, "Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, bye."
Oh, just wanted confirmation.
Yeah, just the
Wow.
confirmation. And then, and then, quite a few times I truly care about them because some of them,
Yeah.
they don't really have the financial capability. And I
Mm,
said, you can really think about it. And
lean out.
so, that actually helps. It
Yes.
actually makes them even want to buy more. And
Mm.
I think at least half of the people who bought it, they have no idea what is in the mentorship. Like I said, I haven't even told you the details. I said, "Oh, I'm in," and that is a great feeling. I know you
Great.
always talk
I
about
love
that,
it. I love it.
but yeah, I think it's also a challenge for me. Like, can I even make them buy without knowing what it is? Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
a personal
yeah,
but it's so great though, isn't it, Timmy? Because people want the destination, right? They don't want the journey to the destination. They want that bright, beautiful future that you painted for them. So they're
yes,
like, "Yes,
yes.
I'd like that, please." So,
Yes, yes. And every time I would say that, what is the next step is I want you to celebrate because
uh,
think about the outcomes. That's what is gonna happen because
love
I'm
it.
100% confident to help you. And you can see that it's just amazing how their voice and everything is just that all the stress is almost gone for them, and it's completely different. And
Wow.
it's just a very good feeling as
Mm,
as an instructor,
yeah,
as a teacher for us
so
that
good.
we can actually help them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's such a great point though, Timon, because I feel like we often or people think that sales is doing something to someone. Okay, so it's like, okay, we've got to learn very secret techniques to get them to do what we want them to do. However, this is not that at all. This is us helping them get what they've always wanted.
Yes.
That's what we're serving them with.
Yeah, yeah, and you changed my mindset because now even when I see a stranger anywhere,
Mm,
I would just make myself try to talk to them because you never
mm,
know, you may change their lives.
wow.
So yeah, so that
So
is
beautiful, I love it. And I know we're eventually gonna I'm gonna work with you to not have to be on sales calls, but would you agree, Tin Man, that I felt like this when I was on sales calls, that it was such a privilege and such an honor to spend that time with someone because they often would tell me things that they had almost never told anyone in their whole life, and it often felt like very sacred to me, like, this is like what we're doing in sales is very sacred
mhm.
in someone's life.
Yeah, at first one of the reasons I joined is because I want to learn to sell from stage.
Yes.
But I also understand that, which is super useful, is if you don't do enough sales calls,
Mhm.
there's no way that you can have a higher conversion rate in the sale from the stage.
Yep.
And in the first few calls, I hated it, headache and stuff. But after a
Oh, yeah.
while, now I absolutely enjoy it because
Mm.
exactly the same thing. Like when you talk to them, I actually heard like there are so many connections you can find about the
Yeah.
similarities about their childhood, and like there are some amazing stories. Some of the photographers, they have been risking their life doing
Wow.
30 years of research in animals, and now they want to use art to help them. And I hear the stories. Is that you for real? I didn't even know about those, and it helps me. It
So
helps me a
cool.
lot in
Yeah,
terms of my teaching as well. So
I love
I
that.
now I totally enjoy it. There is no stress because buy or not buy, it doesn't
Buy or
really
don't
affect
buy.
me. So I just see it as like a genuine heart to talk to people. And yeah, and actually I haven't even had that kind of deep talk with a lot of people for years. Yeah, so it's actually
Isn't that beautiful?
quite a
I
lot of
think
fun.
it's so I love it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so for those of you who enjoy the sales calls, whether they buy or whether they don't buy, hopefully they'll buy. I want them to
Mhm.
buy. If you do our stuff, they'll buy, but, like, if they don't but it's just, it will make your life better, and it will cause your offer to be higher converting when you sell it from stage, right? So
Yeah, and also almost every single call, I would learn something that I can jot down when I
mhm.
do the stage review in the future. Those
Yes,
would be good. So
yes.
I think is like I don't know how many times you think I should do sales calls. Is there a number that you
That's
think?
a this is a great question, 'cause so for everybody watching, the way that I litmus test or skill stack people is when somebody does a six-figure day, how many of
Mm,
you guys want that to be your story? Like, when you do a six-figure day in any of your 4-hour master classes, then in my book, you're good to go. Like, your offer is converting. We know that that offer is what this audience wants to buy, and just like you're jotting down the sales calls, I was every time they were like, "Ooh, that sounds good." I was like, so it's like you're testing your bits, but live on the calls, right? And you're figuring out, okay, whoa, they love that bonus. Okay,
yeah.
whoa, like all that stuff. Then when you sell from stage, now you're presenting that offer and you're presenting the full price reveal. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
So now we know this offer, we're good to go from stage once we've done a six-figure day, and we can start to increase it from there. But that's how you'll know, everyone here. You could do whatever you, obviously you guys are, you could do whatever you want, but this approach, in my opinion, works the fastest for people to grow and scale their businesses. What you
I
just did.
see.
You just knocked it out, so you're good to go.
That's good. So I'm good to go.
Good to go. You're good to
So
go.
that's good. And one other thing I think sales calls is also fun is
Mhm.
because you can test out how good your teaching is in the master class or in other webinars and
Ooh,
stuff.
such a
Because
good point.
quite a few students they will actually show me in video, show me like, Tin Man, I just printed out all your teaching over the years in this book, like color, everything like that. And you'll be like, wow, I want to have that. Can you send it to me? Yeah. So
Producing products for
yeah,
you. So
because
good.
when you are telling stories, when you are really making them to have this epiphany, like there's so many people who will say like, "Oh my God, like I've spent so many years trying to figure that out." But in your master class, when you talk about this model, this framework, and the I, you, them thing, now
Yeah.
I realize that's them. It's not me.
Wow.
And then that's when they take it
Mhm.
seriously and print it out, jot down the notes, like make it like really like a nice folder and stuff. It's actually very good for our
Yeah.
well-being because we
Right.
realize that we are not just doing it behind the Zoom calls all the time. We are actually changing lives, and yeah, so important for us to push us to keep going.
So your students are reflecting back to you the value of what you contributed to them, and you're
Yeah.
getting a chance to hear that.
Yeah,
That's
because you always told us to print out the testimonials on the wall, and
mhm,
I'm
mhm.
always procrastinating. But like this is actually another way to
Yeah,
really show it because when people are booking a call, they
right.
are already one of your biggest followers, and when you hear
Mm,
how you have changed their life, it actually helps you in return
I love that. Oh,
to work hard
so
on
good.
that. Right.
Man, you're giving me so many good ideas, Tim, man. Are you guys watching this getting so many great ideas and inspiration? This has been amazing. So, Tim, man, what would you say to somebody who maybe on the fence thinking about themselves creating a high ticket offer and offering it to the world? What kind of encouragement would you help somebody with who may be wrestling with, like, should I do that? Do I have what it takes to do that?
Well, just like how I talk to a lot of people, don't think about the investment that you have to pay. Think about how much time and money you can save. It's like
Mm.
probably 10 years and you may never figure it out. And all like Eileen was paying all these VIP days from learning from the mentor, and she is ultra smart too. She never talk about that herself. She's a genius herself. And, but then she always give credit to everybody else. And I
Oh,
think those wisdoms is like money can buy. And,
mm,
when you can, uh, when you can get it in with this chance, then definitely go on to it. And also, I think we haven't touched on
mm.
that area yet. Is I'm teaching people how to take photos of birds and animals. Think about it. And I'm charging 15,000 and some more.
Mm,
And so, it's a non-money making niche, right? But
mm,
the thing is, if you believe that you can change people's lives
hmm.
and you have this passion, Eileen is the one who teach you how to turn this into a business that you can not only change people's life, but also can provide, you can make
Mm.
a good living from
Wow.
that. So
So
yeah.
Awesome, man. Let's give it up for Tin Man Lean. So good.
Yeah.
Where can people connect with you, Tin Man? If they're like, how can people find you and stay connected with you? I want to make sure that, like, if
that-
anybody here wants to take
Sure.
photos of these fire sauce birds, this
Oh, that is so kind of you. Yeah, you can go to so I have my YouTube channel.
yeah.
That is youtube.com/tinmanli, just my full name, and also Instagram handle is also tinmanli. And I would more than happy to share with you more bits of
Yes.
animals.
Oh my God. We're gonna
Uh,
have a whole like animal bit fest inside of
Oh
our
my
group.
God, yes, I have so many, even with the videos and stuff. I think that is so powerful because people, like, there is no denying they see the transformation of the animals and we can all relate to it. But anyways, yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Tin Man Lee. So
Yes,
good.
thank you.
That's our appreciation here in the live chat and in the comments. And Tim, and I'll let you go because I know you have more work to do today. And
Yes, another sales call in 10 minutes.
we celebrate you. You're just crushing it, man. I can't
All
wait to
right.
see you go from stage to 7-figure day. Let's go.
Yes,
Woo-hoo.
and I have to say thank you so much, Eileen, for making this
Mm.
happening. So I'm truly grateful, and I'll talk to you more.
See you, Tim, man.
All right. Okay. See ya.
All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes and answer some questions. There was some really cool stuff that came up that Tin Man like brought up. There was some, let's see. Well, let me make sure. I'll make sure to so you can elegantly exit the stage.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to in my set.
Oh, sorry. There he goes. Love you, Tin Man. Okay, so good. There was a couple things I just wanted to bring up, but if you have questions, I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes. If you got questions about your business, questions about your offer, but isn't that encouraging? Isn't that refreshing? So that was less than 30 days ago that Tin Man came and got his offer, presented it, got a guest speaker, and now is over $200,000 with a brand new offer. Isn't that fun? So if that sounds fun to you, type fun. If you're like me and you don't want to work harder, you want to work smarter. All right, there's a couple things I brought up that he so fire sauce, so amazing, says Tiffany. That's right, Val, so cool. Fire sauce, so amazing. I love it. Cool. And I see some questions coming in. So I love it. Yeah, that's helpful if you put the Q in front. I just want to make sure I answer one quick thing that Tin Man, what he did during his masterclass is he located the false beliefs of his audience. So he located that they thought it was going to take a long time, that they needed a lot of equipment, that they just kind of like what they were currently believing. And the way that you discover those false beliefs is through something called an ask campaign. So stick with me. But once he identified it, the game inside your presentation, when you're selling think about when you're selling kind of in a Zoom class, a master class, challenge, webinar, wherever you're presenting, or live on stage in a live event, what you want to do is you want to hit that false belief with bits. Now, bits are little stories that help shift the mindset of what your audience is wrestling with. So Tin Man found a story about birds and related it to taking action. So for instance, he may have identified their false belief is this is going to like take me forever. And but he basically was like, no, you could figure this out much quicker if you'll just put yourself into a state of momentum and into a state of action. Like your greatest enemy isn't like lack of skill. Your greatest enemy is delay. Come on, somebody. So that is what Tin Man did. He developed bits and overcame the false beliefs. And the way you can find out what your audience's false beliefs are, this is your only mission. Somebody say this is your only mission before the masterclass, is to discover what the obstacles are in their own mind. And if you can remove the obstacles, like say they want to get to Mount Everest, right? Beautiful. Come on, Eileen, let's go art school. Mount Everest, they're like, that's all I want. I want to get an award. I want to be featured in a magazine. For me, my students want sales. They want to grow and scale their business. They want financial freedom. They want to buy a house. They want peace, fun. So, but they have these obstacles in their mind. They have these like rocks. Could definitely work on my rocks art skills. Okay. But they have these rocks in their minds. Ooh, can do this. And so I would encourage you to discover what are the rocks inside of their minds. And then if you can remove each boulder one by one, they can see how they can finally run. They're like, oh my gosh, I can hit that mountain. Sales is not your problem. Communicating your offer in a way that's irresistible is your problem. And the way you do that is by removing the limitations occurring in people's minds. So let's dive into the Ask campaign in just a second. If you guys have questions on that, I actually talked about that in a previous video, maybe the one right before this. It was really, 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 really specific, and kind of I gave a fire play in my last YouTube video. So I'll dive into that if you guys have more questions about the Ask campaigns. But that is how you can transform people and release that buyer's momentum that we were talking about. Okay, that's what you want, right? You don't want people to be you don't want grudging buyers. You don't want people who are like, I don't know, persuade me. Yeah, like you don't want that. You want people banging your door down, messaging you, booking in. Like we get barraged. I was going to say assaulted, but that's not the right quote. We get so many messages after our work because people are like, the buyer's momentum that you'll release with this strategy is a force inside of people because they want that. They want to hit their dream. Okay. So you're getting it. Woo, woo, woo. All right. I see some questions coming in. If you wrote your question already, there we go. What's up, Jared Walker? What are the key roles and responsibility differences between an MC and a co-host during a virtual event? Ooh, this is a great question. Ooh, okay. Okay. So for those of you who may not know what an MC is, in our work, when we're doing a masterclass, it's typically around 4 hours. It's like a half-day virtual event. And I always love it if there's two people. One is the host, and the other one has been called an MC. But most recently, I'm starting to call them a co-host. Thank you for my friends yesterday who gave me that idea. A co-host, okay? Krista Proctor. Shout out Krista Proctor. A co-host. So you have two people. One person is kind of facilitating the event, and one person is the primary speaker. The facilitating co-host, their main job is to make the speaker. So a facilitating co-host, and then let's say a primary host. Facilitating host and a primary host. Let's go that way. The facilitating host, its primary job is making the primary host look amazing. So it's sometimes they call it edifying or propping them up. They're trying to help the audience marinate in the value of the primary speaking host. Okay. Why? Because the audience will reflect what the facilitating host is thinking and feeling and believing. So the facilitating host is trying to make this guy look like a super ninja guru awesome sauce, marinating them in the value of this person so that they will adequately and accurately perceive the value then later when the offer is dropped. Okay. When the offer is released. Okay. So think about like Jimmy Fallon, when he's doing late night show hosting. I love Jimmy Fallon, and he'll bring a host on primarily, especially if it's their first time visiting the show. He is edifying them and making them look amazing because typically sometimes they're a little nervous, and he's helping the audience see how he's like complimenting them. He's like, oh my gosh, I just saw you in this movie. It was so good. Or look at you on the cover of this magazine. Or, oh my gosh, the album just dropped and it's #1. He's highlighting all of their accomplishments so that we're all like, yo, that's amazing. And then later, when the interview guest drops whatever cool thing that they're trying to promote, now we're more likely to buy it because we've now been marinated in their value. So hopefully that's making sense. So the facilitator, that's like kind of job #1. The facilitating host also, their second primary job is uncovering objections in the audience. Primary job is looking at the chat, looking at the audience, listening for all of the objections. Are you guys getting value out of this today? So let me make sure we're a little talkback church here in the chat. Marinating all of the, not marinating, they're drawing out. And sometimes they're often like pulling out the objection and then asking it to the primary host. Like, hey, what would you say Eileen, about people thinking maybe this. Or I can see that people in the chat have some questions around this. Could you dive deeper and clarify that a little further? So the facilitating host is crushing objections the whole way through the event. If that's the most ninja sauce thing you've ever heard in your entire life, type ninja in the live chat or in the comments below. Your conversions will go through the roof if you have a facilitating host. Now, other great little tips. Well, I'm going to give you, I'll see if you guys want all my ninja sauce here. It works really great if you have male-female energy. Male-female energy. I don't always do that because some of my co-hosts, I just love them so much and they're girls because they're like such good speakers. But if you can have polarity, gender polarity causes higher conversion. And if you're a guy and you primarily have a very male audience, understand that males love to look at females. I'm sure I don't need to tell anyone that here. If this is your first time ever hearing that, welcome to America. Let's go. James Wilson, what's up? I've heard you talk about your first offer of helping people find their purpose. Yes, you're a pastor. Thank you for your service. I'm a pastor who will work with business owners. Did you find coaching on purpose connected with business owners? This is a great question. Okay, James, I'm going to speak from my own experience, but then I have some Fire Sauce clients who teach on purpose and they crush it with business owners. So let me just, my own experience is I was able to come out of the gate with a purpose offer because my audience was faith-based women, which was not my audience. I mean, like 3 people. It was my Facebook friends. So let's not over glamorize that, right? However, the women that I had been working with, because I was in pastoral ministry, often were feeling overwhelmed, stuck, depressed, and anxious. So my first masterclass was how to get unstuck and discover your purpose. I offered that because I knew that my audience would want to hear about that. So I knew that kind of like had the highest chance of making sales because my goal was money. Okay. So I didn't know enough of what I know now. So now I'll tell you what I know now. There is a market for purpose for, let me clarify this. The biggest sales, I'm going to pretend like you just want to make a lot of money. The biggest sales opportunity with purpose is with people who are in jobs, corporate jobs right now. So they have a job, but typically they have a job and they have money. But here's what they don't have: fulfillment. They don't feel like they're in their purpose, and they'll do anything to feel like they're in flow and in their purpose. So the offer opportunity for purpose, if you want to sell, like there's a big market opportunity for people who are like, hey, are you feeling stuck in your 9 to 5 or you're stuck in your corporate job and you actually want to start a side hustle or something that where you feel in flow and in your purpose? Big money right there. So if it's business owners, I don't know enough to know if that's a hot offer for like entrepreneurs, because I don't hear entrepreneurs say to me a lot, and I work with a lot of them, that they own a business but they feel stuck in their purpose. A lot of entrepreneurs are like doing their purpose in their business, but people in a 9 to 5 for sure are feeling super stuck. Hopefully that was helpful, or you have more follow-up questions around that? Yes, ninja sauce, Michael Price. Masculine, feminine. I could talk about that a really long time. There's so much. Gender polarity will increase sales. People want to see the flow. They want to see the interaction. My goal was money, 100%, Tyler Lord. Well, I mean, yeah, no, it was. I really love people though. So I always love people and I love working with people. So I loved working with people, but I was in a small 2-bedroom apartment, if you haven't heard my story, and I wanted to buy a house, and I wanted to experience financial freedom. Let me say that. That's what I wanted. Do you want to experience financial freedom? Like not work because you have to, but want to like work because you want to? Like, Let's go. Dasha says, so we're approaching an influencer. This would be a good way to, yes, 100%. Dwayne Rose, what percentage do event consultants make? That's a great question. Event consulting, let me explain what that is, because I have some friends that were like, what? Is where you master growing someone's business through hosting an event with them. So if you enjoy speaking, you like people, you like serving people, there's a great thing called event consulting where you basically consult with an entrepreneur, business owner, whoever, to do an event with them. Many people are not familiar with virtual events, masterclasses, and challenges. There's actually many, many businesses who aren't even online. And then there's many, many businesses who don't have something called a high ticket offer, which is like a program, a mentorship, a mastermind, a workshop. They're basically leaving money on the table because they don't have something like that. They don't have a higher level opportunity. If you were just listening to my interview with Tin Man Lee, you could hear that he had a 997 course and maybe sometimes converting 5K offer, but he did not have a $15,000 offer. So people that come into our world will teach them how offer creation and then how to sell that offer in an event and then go do it for someone. What's kind of fire sauce, and then I'll answer your question, Dwayne. What's fire sauce about event consulting is you don't have to deliver on the offer. So you're just there doing the event. Sidebar for my nonprofit or ministry friends that may be in the building today. We are often really great with people and with crowds. So event consulting is kind of like an easy monetized skill from you can ministry to monetization. I should make some sort of product about that. So Dwayne, what we'll do is I love event consultants to get a flat rate down. So kind of get some money in the door just to start working with the client and then take 25% of their first 3 events. Ninja. Thanks, Jared. Eileen and Harrison are dope duo. What's up, Kristen? Should I find a male speaker to my masterclass that currently has 3? Yeah, I mean, women also love. So women also love to be around men. Now, that is true. And what's also weird, and I've read this a little bit in some of, what is his name? I'll get it. Oh my gosh. It's not Robert Shield. Oh, standby team. He wrote the 48 Laws of Power. Robert Greene. Let's go, Eileen. In Robert Greene's book is that females love to be around. So if you have a male speaker, you want him to be a masculine male. So masculine men put women into their feminine, which will create more polarity in the masterclass. I know we're going deep here, team. But also, females love to be around other females. So while men love to be around women, women love to be around men and women. I know this is a lot right now. Robert Greene has a lot more work around this. So the answer is kind of both. My only caveat is if you invite a male, just make sure that they are have a strong masculine energy. Hopefully I'm not going to get a lot of hate about all that in the comments. Let me know if you can handle it. You can handle me talking about gender polarity. Kristen, so I got that. Okay, Shabaka, what's up, Shabaka? Would you recommend following your masterclass event model of charging $47 for your first event? Yeah, so what I recommend is a free masterclass with a $47 VIP upgrade. The reason why you always want to have an upgrade option is, oh, sweet, Tony, we can handle it. Let's go. I'm good. Thanks, team. How dare you? Okay, I think you're joking, Tiffany. I think, okay. You always want to have a $47 VIP upgrade because you want to call out the buyers. So here's a great hot tip. Buyers are buyers. Buyers are buyers are buyers are buyers are buyers, baby, all day. Buyers buy things and non-buyers don't buy things. So non-buyers are something called free people. They love everything for free. These are the people that are like, do you have something but for free? And no hate. It's just they have not yet transformed into the idea that money is everywhere and always comes back to you. And so they have resistance to separating with money. And you always want to release any resistance to separating with money because track with me here. If you believe if you have internal resistance, you'll believe that other people have internal resistance and will have a hard time paying you. So you want to have no resistance to paying people. What's the takeaway? If you love to pay people, then you will believe that people love to pay you. However, if you resist separating with money, like even a little bit of money, you know what I'm saying? Like even if you resist separating with money, you'll also believe that other people have trouble separating with money, and that's not true. That's not true. So that's why I love. One time my mentor and I were talking, and he said, "You treat money the same way I treat money." I said, "How so?" He said, "You just believe it's like water, and it's just moving through your hands. It's moving through your life. There's always enough money. Like hear me when I say this. I have no problem paying people. Like when I say that, I mean legit pants. I'm like, oh, it's $250,000. Do you want it in one wire or do you want it in two? Can the bank take it in one? So I'm like that with money. I believe your life will go to a new level if you'll adopt the story that now I'm not saying invest unwisely. I'm not saying treat money without care. I'm saying money is a seed, and if you believe in the investment that you're making and oh, I'm back. Was I like not talking and you couldn't hear me? Hopefully I'm right here. Let me know in the chat if did I just not talk? My mic was muted? All right, hopefully we're okay. We're back on. If you believe that you're going to make a return on that money, you'll get the money back. You'll always get the seed. The seed will produce the harvest, right? If it's in good soil, let's say it like that. If it's in good soil, the seed's going to, all right, sounds back on. Thanks, team. So that was a lot, but my point was Freeple people have resistance towards paying people. And so buyers have released that resistance already. So that is, oh, okay. Thanks, Jared. That is why the VIP upgrade is like, yo, what's up, buyers? Get on over here. Let's all band together in this special Zoom room because you want the buyers are different than the Freeple people. So you always, and in the future, we're going to have like higher level tickets in our stuff. So congratulations if you've done any of my work and been in a $47 VIP. We're going to start going back to a model of hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars, in order to ask me a question. So congratulations if you're here and I can help you. And I want to serve it like here, but we're going to start to raise those tickets to call out the higher level buyers, as I would encourage you to as well. High ticket premium people, they love to hang around other premium people. And so they're the kind of people that are like, what's your most expensive ticket? Do you know those people? They don't want to sit in a general, you think about a concert or maybe something you've gone to. I think we were at a U2 concert and me and my friend were like, okay, well, where are the best seats, So there are a lot of people out there who love that. They'll pay for it. Yeah. So you want to call them out. Let's go. Thanks, Tiffany. Great question, guys. Oh, thank God. I thought I had a whole monologue for 45 minutes. That was, you couldn't hear. Let's go. Bessie, you're like that, Tony? Yeah, me too. I'm like, first class, or can we get a jet? Or how can we just get there in style? How can we be more comfortable in these up in here? Right. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, I don't see any other questions in case you guys have any other questions. I would encourage you to like, subscribe wherever you're seeing this so you get notified, and love to answer your questions. We're charging $40,000 an hour for one-on-one coaching and $250,000 for my VIP day. So I'm planning on coming on here a lot more, answering your questions. Hopefully that will be helpful for you because my mission is to help all people gain financial freedom, not just people who can afford that VIP day. So, Jared's all, have I created a high ticket offer for a chiropractor? No, but I could. Integrative medicine, anything inside functional or integrative medicine there's so much high ticket opportunity right there. because people will, because it's not, well, I'll just let you, I have bought a lot of these offers. Even so, what I do with them is so Jared, let me just give you this little tip as you move forward, is you want to layer other people into that offer. You're going to layer other functional and integrative practitioners inside the offer. So it becomes like a supernova, super sexy. One person added like brain scans into that, blood work done, supplements sent to your house, meals, like you can sexify any offer. Woo, 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 woo. Questions about those of you coming to Houston? Yes, please stay tuned. Harrison will be releasing information. There's still people coming in right now, so we still have a lot of people buying it. So there's a welcome party coming up in just a couple days. So all information will be released. Don't worry about it. There's always rooms in the hotels. There's always room. Like it's gonna be great. Stay tuned if you're jumping in. Congratulations for you and your family, and for all the people that you're going to serve and touch. I'm very, very excited. You can hear from Tin Man's story, just all the lives he's changing in less than 30 days. And it's going to be your best financial year ever. If you believe it and receive it, give me an amen in the live chat or in the comments below. If you believe this is going to be your best financial year ever. I believe that. Declare it over you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next stream, the next video. Have a great day. Woo, woo, woo. Let's go. Amen. Amen. Come on, Tony. Come on, Val. Let's go, Tony. Let's go, Tiffany. I believe and receive now. Online mortgage. Right? You're like, not even this year. Today is my day. Let's go, Dawn. You guys are awesome. What's up, Val? All right. Sending much love. See you soon.